Hello everybody, remember to like this video or Columbus from Zombieland will kill your puppy. Alright, so today I'm going to start my storytime videos. And the first one I feel like I should do is the craziest bus driver I've ever had. Alright, so to begin this video, I'm going to have to really kind of explain to you what got me to this point. So, I'm going to call the schools by their initials because I don't want to get, copy striked or whatever. So, when I was at a school called GP, some of you might know it, but whatever, I was a freshman and I didn't really care about my grades or anything. So, I used to, skip school and not even go, the basics. So, at the end of the year, they called me in and said, look, you're not going to be able to go to school next year. And I'm like, okay. And so they said I have to transfer to a different school. So I didn't really have a choice. So during the summer, we had a kind of a house fire, and we had to move. And that kind of sucked because I knew what school I was trying to go to, but didn't really happen. So basically, we found a school and I went to it, and the very first time I've ever met the bus driver, it was the first day of school. I was gonna be a sophomore, and I was very happy for that, I guess, optimistic on your first day. So I'm waiting there, and about 20 kids, I swear, pile up, and I'm just sitting there I'm at the right bus stop. And immediately after that, this kid named Rye came up, and he's like, "Is it your first day?" I'm like, "Yes." And I'm like, "Cool." Then the bus pulls up, and I immediately put on my headphones and sit in the very front row, but halfway in between the bus. And then I went to my new school, and to understand my school, it's not the sharpest tool in the shed, There's kids over there being all furries and wearing cowboy hats and all that stuff. But the way it worked for my bus is we dropped these kids off in a middle school, went to our school, and at the afternoon they went to our school and then to the middle school. So I wasn't really paying attention. I was listening to music at the time, and I guess she was yelling at me and I didn't even hear it. So I was in the first day, I think it was my English class, and I had a pretty chill English teacher. So yeah, he didn't call me up or anything. He tapped me on the shoulder and gave me a note to go to the principal lady. I'm gonna call her MC. And MC was kind of mean and stuff, and I heard a rumor she was a cop, so I was kind of 50-50 on that. She says basically, well, I'm getting a few days detention because I was disrupting the bus ride and I disobeyed orders. And I'm like, what? And then she says, oh, you want me to add another day for back talking? And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. So I had to go to detention. I didn't like that, but I didn't really care. It was the first day of school, so didn't really faze me that much. But then a few days after that, I'm sitting there, and well, don't you know it? Well, I was told I have to sit in the very back of the seat, and I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. She told me that, the bus driver, and I'm gonna call her Bingo. Alright, I'm gonna call her Bingo. So, Bingo basically said, I have to sit in the back seat because that's where it's how it's designed to sit. And I'm like, alright. It's basically a seating chart, and I didn't even know. So, I'm sitting back there, and again, listening to music. I talked to a bunch of kids. It didn't really matter. I didn't really make friends on the bus side, no one to sit next to, so I always sat alone. And basically, I got off the bus. I started walking to my house, and how I walked to my house, like, I got off the bus, took a right on the sidewalk, and remember the sidewalk, very important part. And I walked behind, I walked till I hit 2 cars, and then I took a right, and I'm at my house. Well, apparently I got in trouble for that, for running in front of the bus and endangering my life and a bunch of other kids' lives. And I'm like, what? So, this time I got the note when I was in biology. And, I was like, okay, this is getting kind of annoying now, because it's just happening every other day. So, I went and I tried to explain, but Miss MC didn't care. She's the type of person who would take the adult's word, and the kids didn't really matter. And I'm like, alright. So the school was not fun, mind you. So after about a few minutes arguing, I've landed myself a suspension for a day. And I asked how am I going to get to school? And MC was like, well, you're not. So I failed a bunch of my quizzes that day, since that day, like, all the teachers had a quiz or whatever. So that kind of sucked. And, let me get to the best part here. Okay, so one day my phone died. And I used to, like, always sit at the bus and always listen to music. And that wasn't really my issue to go without music. So I figured, why not do one of my class assignments while on the bus? And you know how, like, in an English class, they make you read a book and do, like, a whole report on it? It's supposed to mean something? Well, I decided to do that. And I just, like, read this book called Mice and Men. It was, like, a pretty average book. And we get to the middle school's place, and I never heard any of the kids coming on, but the first person to come on was, like, this skinny kid. And all he used to do, or all he did while I was listening, was he just sang the Barney song over and over again. And I could hear him. I don't think anybody else could hear him, because most people have their headphones on or talking to somebody. And that kid kind of got on my nerves, but not as bad as these 3 girls. And they would always talk about how they have the Gucciest bags, they have the best phones and all that, and I'm like, I do not care. And, well, apparently, they decided it was funny to pair it with a Barney kid. And what they did was they took a whole bag of Skittles and just threw it. And as soon as this happened, the bingo looked at me, and, like, I'm, like, just sitting there kind of smiling about it because I thought it was really funny at the time. And she says, do you think that's funny, huh? And I just said yes. I thought that was pretty funny. And then she looked at me and walked over all the way back to where I was sitting. And then at this moment, like, the rest of the kids just took off their headphones. They wanted to see what was happening. And I don't blame them, because she managed to pull over the whole bus to just walk over and see if that was funny to me. And she accused me of throwing the whole bag of Skittles. And that broke 2 of the rules of the bus. Distracting the driver and eating, I guess. So I get blamed for it, and I'm not happy. So she kept asking me if I threw the bag of Skittles, and I said no, I did not throw the bag of Skittles. And everybody was staring at me. They thought I did it. I didn't really care what they thought. So, like, the next thing I know, I'm getting hit with that big referral, and the other kid just laughing about it. So they decided to do this again. Immediately after this, like, what I got in trouble for is basically eating on the bus, distracting the driver, and all that. I landed myself 5 days detention for nothing, for laughing. Alright? So they decided to do this again, but this time, they didn't go for that Skittles. No. They went for a liquid this time. This Barney kid pulled out, like, a whole Sunny D pouch and just threw it. And this time I know, like, not to just sit there and freaking laugh about it, so what I did was instinctively I laughed about it and thought about it. And this person got on my nerves. Like, she's all saying, oh, I got away with it. Like, these 3 girls saying, I got away with it. I'm going to do it again if I want. So they did it again. She walks over, says not a word. It just says, that she says that I have to pay for the damages of the bus now. I said, oh, I didn't do it. These 3 girls did it. And they have the shocked face, like nothing of everything. It looks like they've seen a ghost. Like they just came out of a Scooby-Doo mystery. And I don't know if she believed me, but I didn't get in trouble the next day. And every time I seen them, they just had the snootiest freaking look on them. And they tried to do it a 3rd time. And I didn't get why they tried to do it a 3rd time. This time, the bus driver was looking at me, and they saw the 3 people doing it. So basically, the bus driver stood over their seats, and yelled at them, like harshly. Like they said they're trying to show off to all their friends because they have all these spoiled rich parents and all the bags, and they started breaking up in tears. And I'm just sitting here like shocked, but I thought it was pretty funny. And I have many more stories of what happened, but I'm gonna kind of stop it here. If you want to hear more stories, I'll do like a bus driver part 2, but probably a different scenario instead of like NV. I'll just do like my old elementary school or something. I don't really know, but that's gonna be all for this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and peace. Bye.